everyone, Tracy here. Today I'm going to share with you a few projects I made. I made a mini album for our brand new baby nephew. My husband's nephew and his wife just had a little baby boy. So I made a mini album for him and I'll show you that. And the card I made and also this box. I was looking all over for a box to put the mini album in because I wanted it contained and I wanted it pretty so it didn't have to be wrapped. This is the wrapping and the storage box for it. And I couldn't find one to fit the album or even close to it. But when I went to Michael's, they had these paper mache boxes. So what I did was I just covered the top and the whole box with the pattern paper. And then I punched out these with one of my punches and stamped baby on it. And then this, I colored this with my Copic markers. I got to color a little bit with them. That's fun. I'm just starting to learn my Copic markers and it's fun to play with them. And then here's the envelope that I put the card in. And I just put a sticker on here and then punched out. And his name is Matthew. And then here's the card. Again, this was a digital image that Marlene from Disguised as a Grown-Up gave away on her blog, so one is bigger than the other. That's why, because it's a digital image. Then I also colored that with the Copics and used my Cuttlebug and my Nestabilities or Spellbinders dies for the borders and also for the banner, and I just stamped baby. And everything is inked. I inked up everything. And then the inside is one of the recipe cards that I like to use, and then I punched it or stamped it and it says welcome to the world, little one. And then I'm going to write a little note to the baby inside there. I haven't done that yet. And then on to the album. And if I remember correctly, the chipboard came from the $1.50 bin at Michael's. I could be wrong, but I think that's where I got it from. It was in my stash, and actually everything that you see that I made besides the paper mache box, everything else was I had on hand. So anyways, this is one of the $1.50 frames from Michael's, and I painted it. It used to be yellow, and I see there's a spot way deep inside there I have to touch up. But I painted it a dark blue, and then I dry brushed the lighter blue on top, the gray blue on top, and I really like how that looks. And then I use the Spellbinder die, and around the frame I also did. And then for inside the frame, that is just a sticker on a piece of chipboard, and she could put a picture of the baby in there. I just didn't want to give it to her blank. I like it looking finished. Even when she wants to put a picture on, she can. And then the first page, I got my daughter Christy to put this together for me, the certificate of birth, and all his information is there. And then the carriage I cut out with a circle Nestabilities die, and I just cut this little spot out and punched some flowers. Punched some circles for the wheels and then a border punch. And all these little characters in the corners I colored with my Copic markers, and I got those from Shell. Shell gave me the images for those, so that worked out perfect for the mini album. And here she can put the first picture they had of him. And then the second page is for the father, picture of the dad and the baby. And I wish I would have had a little loader picture because my nephew drives a loader. So that would have been perfect there. And then the mother page and the baby, picture of the baby with the mom. And another little image that I colored. And then the baby's big sister, picture of her and the baby. And another image I colored. These pages are pretty well similar and pretty simple, these ones. And then for both sets of grandparents. And then on this page, because the book only came with 5 pages and I wanted 6, I put an envelope for one of the pages and just attached the envelope. Actually, I made this envelope on the Martha Stewart scoring board. And I put his initial there. And I just put a little tag in here. Well, not actually, it's quite big. And she could put a nice big picture of the baby. And then lots of journaling on the back if she wants to. Or she could put a picture there, but she'll probably be doing some journaling. And then another colored image I did with the Copic markers. And I didn't have a die cartridge, or a baby cartridge for my for my Cricut. So I hand cut these. This was a stencil, and the stencil was like 8.5 by 11. That's the size of it. So I drew it out, and then I shrunk it because I have a photocopier. So I shrunk it to the size I wanted the baby bottles to be, and then I shrunk it just a little bit more so the inside pages of the pattern paper could be a little bit smaller. And then I just fussy cut, which I just love to do. Can you hear the sarcasm in my voice? And I also put journaling on the back of every one of the baby bottles, so she can have a picture of the baby on one side and then journaling on the other side. And then I just used one of my Martha Stewart punches. And this was just regular cardstock, and I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. So what I did was I punched it out first, and then I backed it. So if you look, the holes don't go all the way through like they should be, because there's a piece of paper behind there, because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. And then I just hand cut with the X-Acto knife around the scalloped edges. And this page here, I used again the die and another image, and then these tags, I did the same thing. This was pretty thick paper, but I wanted a different pattern on the back, so I adhered a different pattern of paper on the back. And again, the same thing. I punched this out, and then I adhered the back paper, and then just cut the scalloped, or this edge here, just with an X-Acto knife. And they all have something on. I was going to put like lines for her to write on, but she'll probably want to put pictures. But she could still write on the back. It's just, for me, I need to have perfectly straight lines, because I cannot write straight at all. And this here, I had seen the Cricut cartridge, which I don't have, had a die cut for one of these onesies, and so I had to fiddle around and play with it, and I looked at some other videos and just tried to get the shape right. And so this, I made a little flip book, and I'm hoping this isn't too girly with the scallops, but it just adds to it, or else it'll be pretty plain. So they all have a little scallop on there, and I was going to put journaling blocks here, but I figured I'll just leave that, and she can either put pictures or just write on there if she wants to. And I have 3 pages there. And then the back, I did my binding, and another die from the Cuttlebug. And then on the back, you can't hardly see it, but I wrote "Handmade with Love" by Auntie Tracy, XOXO. And then here, I could not find any loader stickers, but we had backhoe, and we had a truck sticker. And I know Matthew's daddy drives a truck sometimes, but mostly a loader, so I thought that would be kind of cute to put on there. And you know, most people wouldn't think, oh, what's the difference between a loader and a backhoe? Well, in this family, there's a big difference. My husband and all of his brothers and his dad and his uncles, they all drive loaders and backhoes and all those big machineries like that. So they know each of their machines. So you have to be precise and correct in this family. Oops, I forgot to add this. Put that back in there. I'll fix that later. But anyways, I just wanted to share this with you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you might have got a few little ideas on here. So thanks again for watching, everybody. Bye now.